7:00, and call this meeting to order. The Town of Berkeley Long Range Master Plan Oversight Committee. Please all rise for the pledge. Wait for the share. There we go.
And pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
We have new members in here. Have you heard of any new members?
So I have heard that the school committee is having their retreat at some point during the month of August. We have passed on the information for them to start thinking about who they want to appoint to this.
Okay.
And about the moderator's appointment.
I've heard no update.
Okay.
All right, move on. So let's call a roll of the other members present. Dean Favreau,
Here.
Mary McBride,
Here.
Anthony Mancheska, there. Vacant is the school committee appointee and vacant is moderator's appointee. So we do have a thing. So we move on to approval of the minutes from the last meeting on Monday, June 30th. Entertain a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Then.
All opposed? Unanimous 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you for my ability to make it last time.
Try to please.
My function that I had signed up 4 months ago ended up getting postponed till tomorrow because of sleep. I was afraid that ice cream would all melt while we were dishing it up, so. Sorry.
Anyway, we don't show you. We're all here.
Yeah.
So,
So if you wanna have this ice cream, tomorrow night's the annual ice cream social at the one.
okay. Sounds good. So it's now we want to review the table 5 implementation matrix.
Chairman.
Yep.
So thank you for sending in comments. I've tried to put them all together into one document. And if you'll just watch me click through my computer, which is what most meetings are, then I'll pull that up and we can go through it some.
While you're doing that, on the, at least on the check marks that appeared, first short term, long term, ongoing, did you do that?
No, that was part of the master plan original.
Okay. Yikes.
Don't assume they do that.
So one of the things that I did was I looked at the land use as well. Like my own comments there, Jane looked through some of the natural and historic resources. And thank you, Dina and Mary, for commenting on transportation.
Oh, wait, did I read the wrong one?
No, I did the wrong one.
Oh.
So I had chapters in my segments are in different orders. They're reading their implementation matrix and the way that it's organized in the actual document.
Okay,
So it looked like the second section, she went to the section and she did it.
Well, you know what happened is the only thing that had it spelled out said, oh, public facilities and services. So I went and highlighted all of them, because they are noted for all the other things.
Was she,
Oh, you're the responsible party.
was she able to find information on the ones that I couldn't find anything on?
So it would be nice if we all found different information.
We're gonna all look at everything anyway, so it's completely fine. And Tony, I know you've got.
Well, that was a lovely break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's absolutely okay.
I had a really busy July.
That's-
so did I. I did it all yesterday. I was like, oh.
That's why. we wanted-
Wrote it down, I was like, okay, so, and then I realized it was, I didn't, to be fair, I didn't know if it was supposed to be entering them down, because I didn't know if there was an open meeting later, law issue. As well, working, I didn't know if we've heard back.
So
That was another
what
issue.
we
why-
wanted to make sure was you guys weren't deliberating outside of.
Right.
So you did homework on one section, you've done homework on one section. Since you both did homework on the transportation, for example, you didn't deliberate.
No,
You just now have all this
Okay.
of that
So,
section now.
so we can, what do we just?
Yeah, so now we can look at,
Okay.
well, as far as transportation item number one, we have been seeking firms to advance design and construction of the Yankee Doodle bike path. One of you commented it's already up to bid for construction.
That was me, that was I.
yeah, and I probably gave more information than that was necessary. Cause I wasn't really sure what kind of stuff you were looking for, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw the kitchen sink at it.
Absolutely, I love kitchen sinks. But so that way, now we can look at both of these and see and say, yes, we are good, we are happy with this one. We want to report back to the planning board that this is done or that. We just need to finish construction and then we really are finally close to finishing that project.
Where did you find the sidewalk inventory? I couldn't find that anywhere.
I talked to people who said it existed, and it's come up at finance committee on a regular basis.
I searched everywhere, I could not find a copy of it.
Wouldn't start having?
You would, but I was doing it yesterday, so.
Yeah, same. And I actually
I
spent,
actually did call Kevin Conway, but she was off today.
I actually spent a lot of time looking for it too, for that one particular, because it's such a major thing in town, like needing sidewalks. I'm like, I need to find this.
I have to say,
This inventory list and I couldn't.
the people that are, whoever the people are who are doing it in the turnpike, right at the lake, that are doing, putting in the curb, those people they work like dogs, 100 degrees in there with giant slabs, and, I mean, I'm impressed by how quickly they've moved. I'm glad I'm not doing that.
We have so many different comments columns that I just kind of keep adding another column each time. But it looks like maybe for homework, we need to ask whoever has the sidewalk plan.
Yeah, because it's not on the website at all.
I'll call him tomorrow, I'm sorry. Well, maybe I shouldn't make it some of my business. 'Cause I'm not.
I think catch, you know, I would say catch us. Yeah.
And as we go through this, we're probably going to have multiple questions are asked for each responsible party. Select board can do this, DPW can do that.
Yeah,
As we go through this, I'm sure we'll have a lot of.
yeah, because I was actually gonna put that on our upcoming agenda because I couldn't find it. I'm like, we need this done.
Can you explain to me why it's this way? So clearly this is, now that I'm looking at it, transportation is the major. And then additional elements, this action addresses public facilities and services. Which is why it looked different from what I was thinking it was.
Yes, so
Everything
I
that
actually,
actually did what I thought I was supposed to be doing. You might laugh at me, I've already cried at myself.
no, I
I
completely
did
understand
it,
this.
I got over it quickly.
So what you're looking at is the raw table that's printed from the master plan itself. And the column that you were looking at, I deleted off of the implementation matrix.
There you go. Okay.
So in this column is, if you're looking at the master plan itself, the very last column is additional elements that this action addresses. So where this transportation item says,
Yeah.
develop a townwide sidewalk inventory, that is also related to public facilities and services.
Okay.
So when you go down to the public facilities items, you're gonna see that again.
I'm so sorry, Ken.
So it tries to label where one item might be more than one category. Apparently, a lot of transportation is also linked to public facilities and services.
Absolutely.
Yes. So those comments will just be able to steal down to the public facility section now,
Okay.
because they're links. All right, so in general, I think I'm going to hide things together. So it's not- So, well, let's start with you and we'll go through the land use.
Okay. So, land use ones that update zoning ordinance, diversify type, et cetera. I wrote down that when Michael was came before the planning board. So we're planning on fall 25 town meeting warrant article to change some. Uses in industrial area to make it more commercial or whatever, mixed use type things. Found it really interesting. City of Chelsea's embroiled in a little dispute over the very type of thing in Animal Cell area. Yeah, so there's a fish processing plant that's actually in the seaport. So we want to make a second plant in Chelsea. We changed the zoning back in January, once the city met with all the parties, and this is great, and then now we're in public comment. And the neighbors in Captain's Hill were all up in arms, and they're threatening a lawsuit over the change of zoning. So I found this really interesting, only because it was like right after we had a planning board meeting, and this is what we were just discussing, so like, so we just something to watch in case it does go, you know, if there are any implications towards us. But I don't understand how there would be, to be honest with you, I mean, but you never know.
So this is based, so your notes themselves are gonna be based on the working session that we had to change the matrix?
Well, Mike came before us right after your meeting,
Oh, okay.
I think it was the next day,
Okay, I didn't know that.
and talked about how we want to be able to change the uses in the industrial zone. Okay,
So he presented it to the select board, he presented it to the planning board, and now next week, he's hoping to
That should-
present
that's- I'm sorry.
the draft warrant to each
Yeah.
board. And each of those would hopefully agree to sponsor it
So it's a warrant article
hopefully
for this.
for a zoning change?
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
to update that matrix that he showed us,
okay.
which should have been at your meeting.
Yeah, we had it, it's just.
A few agenda items.
And 5 birthday parties.
Alright, so land use two, so I wrote in the new product that we just, passed, the 315, 317, 319 Trouble Cove. They felt that was right along, just off of Route 3, so that's part of Route 3 corridor, is something that is, it's an opportunity.
What is
It's a
40?
permanent.
What's 43D?
So we moved,
So,
Is that what we're on?
yes.
Yeah.
So the idea of this action item is for the land use rules themselves to somehow be more streamlined, to help encourage site plans like the 315, 317 Travel Cove. They went through every step in every slow motion process that we have to give them, so nothing was streamlined or quickened for them. We didn't have any incentive for them to do it other than, hey, we have land, do you want to come build here? And then they just followed all the processes.
So then,
So what this is specifically asking for is find ways to incentivize it. So the research part on Treble Cove is a great example of what we're trying to incentivize, but there was nothing incentivized for them.
okay, so could we add the other policy that was discussed and agreed to be worked on at the select board's working session to like waive application fees and that sort of thing for it as incentives? Would that be something that would fall in that?
Is that being drafted or did that?
I mean, that's Mike Rose's baby, so I'm going to assume. So
Discussions?
it was voted on unanimously as a potential incentive.
Being approved. Definitely a lot of these have been improved since this master plan,
Yes.
whether we're expedited. or not.
This is my ignorance, but what's 43D?
That's what I had originally asked, yeah.
So
Must
that
be.
is one of my next homework projects, so I can't speak directly to it.
Okay.
But is some sort of state process or district that you put on land saying, if you were to develop this in this way, then you have these sorts of incentives. So exactly what it is, I can't tell you.
So Kat, are we also in the process of going through this with them and some of this as well?
Yes.
And I should say the planning budget.
And the other
I should-
comment was that the planning board is making progress on the site plan process amendment, which would distinguish it from the special permit, making it a bit more.
Right, so we're working on that as well, myself, so. Now, I'm just curious why the ZBA would be part of this, I mean, they don't usually make policy.
They don't, but they're the special permit granting authority for
I,
lot
how
uses.
are they gonna expedite? And so I'm just kind of curious why they
So,
would be listed here.
for example, if a streamlined site plan review process might look like they're coming to town hall Tuesday, August 12th. Planning board is gonna hear the site plan, zoning board will also be there for a joint meeting to hear the variance. Common law will also be there for a joint meeting to hear the wetlands. And the town comes with them, so they don't have to come to 3 different meetings in 1 month.
Okay,
We come to them all in.
all right, so doing joint meetings with relevant parties, okay.
That is administratively very difficult, that's why it's a goal that hasn't gotten done.
And there was discussion to also potentially hire a. Just watched the meeting yesterday when I was reviewing minutes too. Permit coordinator, does that sound right? A permit coordinator, so that they would have one centralized person to help them deal with the paperwork along with having everything central with the different communities. Yeah.
Number 3.
I didn't have anything for this.
I put that, for brownfields, yes, we have applied for a federal brownfield grant 2 years in a row and have just barely been denied both times.
For what,
So,
area?
townwide, it would be a community-wide assessment is what the federal grant for, so
okay,
ideally it's $500,000 that the town then controls and you have 5 years to spend it. Where any developer says, I need help making sure getting the phase 1 done so they can sell it with more confidence, we can step in and help them out with that.
and we're in town or just,
So the application targets specific reasons, but yes, it is community-wide.
oh, that's interesting,
So
okay.
for 2 different reasons.
Cause I was thinking.
2 years ago, we just missed out on the scoring of it, and this last cycle, I just did not have the time or energy to put forward to be told no again. So, and now we're coming up on the deadline for the 4th year, and the last time we didn't get it is because we're not dirty enough or sick enough or poor enough. So that's not exactly the worst problem to have.
No,
I'm shocked that they said we have so many brownfield sites, even if camping clusters.
Brownfield site is just suspected contamination. Nothing has been certified as brownfield site.
Okay.
If it's a historic use that historically we know laundromats use these chemicals. Historically, we know that these chemicals can seep into the ground, and historically we know that these chemicals can be carcinogenic. That does not mean that that laundromat site is causing cancer.
Right.
So we can call it a suspected brownfield, but nothing is actually confirmed.
Okay.
So one of the things that the brownfield funds can do is if someone wants to sell in a laundromat building, the new buyer's gonna be like, I'm not touching this without an environmental assessment.
Right.
Well, who's supposed to pay for that? The town pays for it with these funds, and that way it helps that transaction happen, and that way that site can be
also,
developed.
this could have helped the guy that ended up buying the, place on the corner of Floyd and Salem on Boston Road, right by Garrison's. He's putting a transmission shop in there,
Yeah,
cause that was an old junkyard, I remember.
yeah. And also the old gas station.
Yes, there was a gas. And so that was.
touch that either.
The funnest
okay.
anecdote I hear is it pays for assessment, it does not pay for cleanup. Now, in order to assess the soil under an old tank, you're gonna have to pull out the tank
Yeah.
in order to assess the soil. But you might as well not put the tank back in,
Right,
but they're not technically paying for removal of an old tank.
So there was another grant that we discussed and voted on at the working session that also provides some incentive programs.
So the state has their own brownfield, so if you're
Mass.
having,
It was under mass development, but I don't, UPP, underutilized property program through mass development. And there's a section of that grant funding that will provide studies and assessments and feasibility, wire, building,
Yeah.
structural design, et cetera.
we submitted an expression of interest for a state brownfield
Yeah.
for the fire station, because the preliminary conversation said it would be applicable.
Yeah,
Municipal owned properties are applicable if we're trying to sell it off and redevelop it to something
else,
else,
right?
but not for another municipal function.
Yeah.
So that's
Too
why-
bad.
Absolutely. So we're still applying, we're still seeking, but at this point, we haven't been approved or eligible for anything yet. So there's no progress on number 3. Number 4, economic development, especially along Route 3A. Route 3A. I thought I said Route 3 at first, so this
Yeah,
is
the
Boston
first one-
Road.
Yeah, first one was Route 3, this one now trade.
Modifies them into encourage mixed use.
That's where it was.
Well, I think that's done.
From 279 Boston Road, the Burke Mall, 10 Ellis Roads, the St. Mary's Church property, and the current TPW site. Once the new site's built. Places that,
And I know this is probably wrong, but for some reason I keep having this memory from last year's MBTA meetings about an overlay going on the properties adjacent to the Golden Main. Did that happen?
No.
Okay, it didn't.
It's not.
Okay, all right.
So the mixed use overlay zone, one that is 279 Boston, that does go from 279 Boston up to the corner of Hill Plaza.
Where?
The
all that,
Cornwall Plaza.
yeah.
So that stretch of Boston has the mixed use.
Which
overlay.
plaza? I'm sorry, I have.
Treble Cove.
Lessons here.
Tropical
Market
Plaza,
basket.
Oh, Market Basket, okay.
south to 279,
Okay.
that overlay was done in town.
So that stretches that whole section?
Yes, it does
Okay.
not include 250 Boston Road.
No.
So when they removed the PUD and put in the mixed use zoning instead, I believe they specifically extracted that property because they didn't want to see it sold off.
Yeah.
So, but in 2015, they said, let's do mixed use along Boston Road. We did the PUD, then we replaced that with mixed use, and we've seen a couple of projects go forward, so.
So done.
Number 5. Preserve existing forests and conservation while collaborating with various entities to seek more opportunities to expand the trail network and enhance public accessibilities for passive recreation.
Done in
So
the hand slash on.
Oh, yeah, right, because I was saying, even though I didn't write it down, I just thought of it now, we did Chorus Park.
Yeah.
We have the Ditson Park.
Yeah.
In whatever phase we are in with that as well, so. And
We just accepted a land donation for the back half of the state forest. And put that into preservation. I don't remember the exact.
we,
Do you remember who donated?
Off the top of my head, I can look at
I think I know which one you're talking about, but I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah, it's like the back end of,
Like Rangeway.
yeah, those way, yeah, exactly. What's it? It's something, yeah, it's not Jones Forest. Why can't I think of it?
no, that's,
But it is Rangeway.
State
I
forest.
mean, it's like the State Forest, yeah, it's the State Forest, but, right,
in New England,
yeah.
okay.
I don't know if that's part of Manning though, but it is State.
All right, so Marion State Forest area,
Yes.
right?
Manning State and then Rangeway Town Forest.
Yeah,
That area. And you said that was a donation?
land donation, and we put that into conservation. There's been quite a number of different funds that we put into preservation or put some sort of restriction on.
So number 8, sorry, number 6.
6, I don't know if there was 6 or 7, but I think, I wasn't sure about number 6, if the boat ramp part was part of this. That has been talked about multiple.
Yeah, so access points to the river, what I put out here was 8 Carter Ave, which is the Katy Finance Park.
Yeah.
Akeson Park also has a put in, and then
But that does,
Yeah.
Dickinson existed, right?
I don't know if the put in exists.
Okay,
Did we ever finish that capstone project?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm saying, in a few of my comments, see the Tufts UEP report. So that is the Tufts University Urban and Environmental Policy and Planning Graduate Program.
I never got a copy of that. Can you send that to me?
Absolutely, and
Okay.
then the easiest way to find it is just go to the Open Space Committee's website, and there's a project on the left side.
Oh.
So
Tufts UEP.
what this graduate course required was actual real world field projects. Anything planning related, they put out a call, what you guys want done.
Wow.
So we know that there's all of the hundreds
Mm-hmm.
of town-owned parcels. Some of them were collected from tax titles, some of them were maybe deeded as part of a subdivision, they should have gone into conservation. We have this inventory of Article 97 conservation protections properties, but there's not a lot of faith that it's accurate.
Oh, yeah.
So meanwhile, there's sort of what do we do with all of this surplus town land? Do we put it into conservation? Do we sell it off? Do we get a little bit of revenue and put it back on the tax roll? What do we do with all these different things?
Mhm.
Probably some of them should be one way and some of them should be another. So what we send, exactly. So what we asked Tufts to do is say, will you audit our existing inventory? See if you can find any errors, anything that should be protected that isn't on this list, because we don't want to accidentally sell off something that was supposed to be protected. And then for everything else that's not protected, what should we be protecting? So they created a whole suitability analysis that
Nice.
they took soil conditions and wetlands and proximity to rare habitat species, all sorts of these technical GIS layers that are even beyond me. I did public administration, I did not do planning or environmental science. So they took all these together and they did a weighted score of all of these different properties in town. And the ones that are 5 out of 5
Mhm.
are kind of the most suitable for conservation. So we do expect the Open Space Committee to bring their own warrant article forward soon to put those in a conservation status.
So the two properties that I specifically talked to you about
Those
were,
are-
they are, so one was my grandmother's land right on the Concord River. And then one was the Swift Family Conservation when they sold their house, they put a portion, because their property was right on the river, but it was further down towards Simmons Lane area in the back of the Collins
Mhm.
bowling. And he did send me the documentation that it was put into the conservation trust, but I don't, the town has that.
Okay.
and that'd be an interesting document to look at.
Absolutely, it sounds good. All right, so as far as that one goes, so we do have these various sites that have direct water access. We don't have trail connectivity to any of them. I don't think it's ever really been on anyone's radar to try to take, for the last 20 feet of riverfront from everybody's property to have some sort of waterfront trail. I don't think that's what
I don't think-
anybody is thinking.
I thought you.
Oh, no, you spend, we don't have the money, you have to buy private property to do
I
that.
remember, yeah, lost from my years.
Yeah.
So I think, but the road connections with the trail and then you spur off to the A's and put in, or you spur off to the Buckingham Road. That one's really close to Jones Forest, for example. And then one thing that is also not on here as far as being in the land use category, the mixed use zoning does require any of the properties that develop within that overlay. If you're on the water, you have to create your own water access. We've only had one application come forward at that time, and there was a lot of concern that was that really the most appropriate place to put it or
That
not.
was 250 Ross,
279.
279.
Yeah.
There was another plan. I saw it.
Yes, so as far as the mixed use goes in private development, it is a requirement to have public access to the water on your site. So there was a lot of, is that suitable here or not? I think a lot of people were concerned. It was the first project too. So instead, an arrangement was made where they would still cover the cost of putting in water access. It just wouldn't be on that site. So the town has the funds available to put it somewhere else instead.
Okay.
Alright. Do you have anything for 7?
I do not,
So
you know,
as far as land use strategies to promote water quality improvement, wildlife habitat restoration, and public access, I'm not sure what land use strategies we have. We did deny the dam removal for better or for worse.
Deny what? The dam road?
Dam,
Yeah.
and then as far as 250 Boston Road goes,
so that would be part of that, that's interesting, okay.
part of the environmental argument or benefit is that it would restore some flow and improve water quality. That's only one argument and only one facet. So,
I have to tell you, I thought last Wednesday when I must be a bad person, but I got 2 timelines in the same phone call twice. While I had screwed up the timer on the irrigation system. So it wasn't going, and I said, I went downstairs, I said, oh, I put 8 PM instead of AM, so I fixed it. And at 9:15, when I got those 2, it was just finishing the cycle, so I was in violation. But it also mentioned that, you know, the Concord River and everything else, yeah, what will happen if we don't get another one?
then sprinkler systems and swimming
Yeah.
pools
The
will
thing of
take
the
up a
past.
lot of demand.
Yeah, that'll be a thing.
So, can you just go back to what you wrote down? It's one of
Which one?
Seven. Yeah, denied, what company 250?
You see also any future plans for 250 Boston Road. So nothing is finalized on that property. In fact, one of the things that the open space plan has as its own goal is to create some sort of master plan or vision for that site. Everybody can think of a goal to have there. How do they all work? Which,
So
if they're
didn't we,
competing, which one should win?
I know we talked about putting like a park up.
well, no, didn't the town go after some grant money to do a study there a couple of years ago?
Several years ago.
Yeah, several, a pocket park. Yeah, there was a pocket, yeah.
I know it was before you, but I didn't think it was, yeah, but that was.
I know that we had talked about that. Late last year, early this year. Revitalize the municipal buildings that are there.
Well, I believe the former town manager wanted to also try to go across the street to Old Iverson Ford lot and make that whole thing mixed use.
I've seen that.
That's not, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. So we were talking about different ideas.
Oh, that was, I mean, that was what they, I think when they went for the grant, that was the,
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know about the grant.
yeah.
But I know that the building itself is under feasibility study right now. Where the rec department is, that building's under feasibility study to, open a recovery center. And then we talked about revitalizing, like, once everything was, like, DPW's moved off, rec is moved off. How to revitalize the historic buildings there and have some sort of an attraction. Place to go for families, et cetera, et cetera.
Is it municipal? Is there enough?
So it would be like a municipal / park, open concept, access to the river walk type of thing.
Because there is an emergency boat launch there.
Yes, yeah, there
but
is,
There is
some
a,
work. Well,
there's a canoe and
Well,
kayak.
yeah.
well, yeah, but my understanding is supposed to be for emergency use, but it's like
Yeah.
overgrown.
Yeah,
Needs to be fixed.
and it's all like, yeah, there's a bunch of like dirt and debris that they pile up back there too, so it's not really accessible. So that was the idea, at the beginning of this year anyway, that's what we were working towards.
Said you had something on number 8?
So, under the responsible party, I didn't put age in the new agricultural commission. Just wondering if they fit there, because it says where it says existing open space and natural resources, so I put farm use, the Briggs portion of it. And then, the old farm in the French Street, it's been sitting there for a long time, it's something that we also have, maybe the ability for, if the owners are willing to lease the land so people can farm. That, you see things like that, especially in
It's
Concord.
actually a good idea.
You know, because if Greg's isn't gonna use it, then why not lease it out and let someone else farm?
It's out to, yeah, right.
There's also the French Street lot, they used to be from so long ago.
I think that's privately owned.
But I'm saying, if the owner wants to lease it out and let people
Yeah.
use it, it's, like,
Right,
you know.
so the town, the town owned farmland is out for bid right now.
Okay.
For licensing, not leasing,
Well,
yeah.
same difference.
And
But yeah, I understand.
the Ward Farm does do this, so if you've been on winter walks that the
Yeah.
recreation department has, every year, one of them goes down through the. Can't think of the name of that reservation, it's in Bedford as well, we get access by going through the card farms, they do partner with the rec department every year for that hike.
Okay.
It's a beautiful hike
So,
too,
great example.
yeah.
Provide more development incentives and flexibilities to expand and diversify Billerica's housing stock. Particularly for senior housing, this could be.
Well, that's what it
different
is.
unit
I know there's a need for senior veteran housing in town.
There's a bigger need for family in town.
We're not debating the need or the value of what they set out that we're measuring if it got done.
Okay.
So, and as a reminder to that.
It's just like, I'd really like to have us all start thinking, not just on the veterans and especially not just seniors, even though God knows someday I might qualify. Like, right. But every time I read something about the need for housing here, it's.
And they
not
just had a-
here, but it's families.
Well, they just had an article in the Lowell Sun recently about the river. Specifically, like one bedrooms have gone up astronomically in the last year or so. Yeah.
So some of the things that I noticed is that we do have more zoning in place for multifamily with the adoption of MBTA communities. The ADUs are now allowed townwide. We do have 55 zoning overlays in town, but I'm not sure when those developments went in. If this was identified as a need in 2015, I don't know when Rose Manor or Danforth Village went in.
I don't know.
Neither do I, we could find it.
Yep, and I do believe we're still looking at a potential petitioner warrant article to rezone for more 55 plus over at Swanson Meadows. We don't know until it's officially filed, of course, but they've submitted that in the past. They're still talking and trying to vet out that idea. So I do expect that application to come back.
Interesting.
Do you have any others on that one?
No.
Number 10, monitor and seek housing rehabilitation opportunities, especially in older, higher density neighborhoods. Consider adoption of zoning, permitting, other incentives to promote reinvestment of the existing housing stock. So one of the things it doesn't specify when it says older and higher density neighborhoods, does that mean
I'm
the
thinking
real
mine.
district, which is
Garden City.
well, Garden City is a great example because if you go on those first few blocks, those homes are duplexes or fourplexes. Even the larger homes on Mount Pleasant have been converted into multifamily.
Right.
So is that what they meant by density? Or did they mean Pinehurst and now
Right, so I was gonna
it's
say-
still single family, it's just small lots. So they could have been meaning either one of those, maybe they meant both, and that's why it reads ambiguously.
Okay.
But how do we make sure that those older, more dense one way or another neighborhoods are revitalized as opposed to disrepair or paved over for mid-mansions?
I was just gonna say that, because there are two right now that are being built in my neighborhood. One of them just got finished. And this big house on a tiny lot. And,
They just did that.
890, I think they're looking for, and it's like, there's no frontage to speak of, I don't even know how to go.
They did the same thing in mine, my street, well, it's on the corner of Sheridan and P Street. Because I think it was 840, 5,000 square foot lot.
Same as my cousin, they put these in one of them.
He tried doing the second one and then somehow somebody found, one of the neighbors found out that he couldn't build and act out, it had been stopped. But the thing you run into, especially like in my neighborhood, which is near the Shawshank River, being in the flood zone, is the older homes, because of other issue, more development in the neighborhood that didn't exist when the older homes were built, is that these houses have to be probably torn down because the basement's flooding all the time. And so flood insurance is incentive, basically doesn't want you doing this, they want you to go up.
Yeah.
Just what you need to build 2 feet above the high water mark. Well, if you were to go into my house, that literally puts the basement floor to what is now my living room floor.
Oh my goodness.
Is
So and
anyone,
that's why you end up with these higher homes in the flood zone. there.
Makes sense.
so short of what we all see, is there anyone out there that's monitoring those changes?
Mm,
I wouldn't even know how.
No,
to
I
get that,
think
so
we'll-
I appreciate their help.
But the only way you find that is through building permits, I guess. So you can probably run a news report and get toll those. And see.
I don't
You
think
have to check
munis
just right words and.
Yeah.
having to monitor for opportunity, rehabilitation
Yes.
opportunities.
It just, if someone's pulling a permit,
Yeah.
that's the only way, like when they built that. You know, houses, or if they're pulling permits to rehab. You know, I mean, unless you wanna stop,
I kind of feel like,
historical districts over these homes where you can't
Yeah.
tear them down. And I don't think you wanna do that in the flood zone, because I think, you know,
That's kind of the only way out.
no, so we maybe need to develop some sort of policy on monitoring. And I feel like, I felt this way about my section too. I feel like there's a lot of repeat kind of concepts in the list,
Yes.
right? So we're working on this one that talks about rehabilitation opportunities, but it kind of falls into two others that we've already just discussed in my mind. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm not.
No, you're on target.
And do we know why that is?
No, because we weren't part of the draft in 2015.
Okay,
So they thought it was
So
distinct enough to
Okay.
create different ones.
so do we change that after we're done doing this part?
No, generally,
Okay,
but
I like the but.
the document can be revised by the planning board.
Um,
And really, at this point, because it's been 10 years since real public engagement was done, do we want to tweak this 10-year-old document, or is it time to just do the big public engagement?
What's the timeframe?
So there's no,
There isn't.
there's no expiration date, but in general, its lifespan is typically 10 to 15 years. That's what we've always said, and that was before there was a pandemic in the middle of the most recent 10 years. So I would say it's probably time to do some more public sessions. Now, it could, the bones of this would be very good, especially because there's a pandemic. We didn't use it as much as we might have if the pandemic weren't here. So
and maybe streamline the document itself to not have as much overlap.
yeah,
Or
that can absolutely.
goals or everything.
So as we finish this, I think this committee can look at what are your main recommendations back to the planning board.
Okay.
So first, there's so much that is redundant and overlapping. It got confusing. Let's just streamline it. Or we actually got a lot done. Check this off. It's time to get a new set of marching orders for the new decade.
Yeah.
Or it's we haven't done half of this, it's all still very relevant. This is fine to keep working off of, let's get stuff done.
Mhm.
So, and all three of those, anything else you could think
Or a
of.
combination of all.
Exactly, that's just off the top of my head,
Yeah.
what could be recommended, that's up to you guys.
Yeah. Okay,
Good for.
thank you for explaining that.
All right, so amend zoning along Boston Road to allow diversified, higher density and or mixed use housing such as multifamily townhouses, assisted living or other types of senior. Now, what is the difference between 11 and 4?
Nothing.
Great.
That's what, and that's exactly what
So I think
I'm.
11 also, I think 11 is more is focusing on housing versus,
11.4 was looking at how mixed use
Right.
could help the businesses.
this.
Mixed use also helps the housing.
Right, but I think that 4 is more, commercial, business oriented,
So,
where 11 is more housing oriented. So my comment was, back when my father was on the board of health. And this was also at the time when Schaefer landfill was still open, and the amount of complaints they were getting from that. But number 1 or number 2 complaints were noise complaints because of truck traffic driving up and down Boston Road and all hours of the night. You know, if they hit a manhole cover and make it. So do we really want to encourage more housing on
Okay.
Boston Road? You know, I mean, yeah, you know.
I'm sorry, truck traffic on a truck route, what was
You
it?
know, on Boston Road, right, down about, usually,
That's not-
yeah. Well, it's a state highway, so the people driving up and down Boston Road all hours of the night, and people were like, he was getting phone calls, I know, 'cause I used to live there, I was getting phone calls. And people complaining, noise complaints about trucks at all hours of the night.
So if you live there, you might not like living on a busy road, but the,
So it's just a question, do you really want to encourage more housing in Boston Road if you're gonna be fielding all these complaints?
well, that's what they said in land use for.
No, I understand, but I just wonder if it's the,
But number 11 says higher density.
right, so, or do you wanna focus more on
but it's,
commercial?
but the notes that we're working on is that it's been completed.
Hmm.
We amended the zoning and
Yeah.
we.
I understand that, it's just, this
Yeah.
is kind of like. Just finding, do we really want to continue doing?
If it was
As
regardless,
that,
though,
like
I'm
commercial
happy to
businesses?
talk about the value of mixed use and the desire of
Well,
any housing when you're looking for housing, but that's not the scope anyway, so.
Okay,
Yeah, so basically it's been adopted and multiple. Complexes have been,
it's all using, right, so we have.
so we got 279 Boston Road.
Now, granted, the mall project is set back, so
Four
that's
eighty,
fine.
yeah, four
And
eighty.
the house eventually goes up.
They also did Alpine, and there was one other, and I can't think of the names.
Is the point the same as?
Oh, the point, yes.
And I don't know, again, Danforth Village or Rose Manor or even. Was it 13 and 16 River Street? I don't know if those went in.
Oh, that was when I was a
Probably-
kid. Yeah, that was with the other one was a kid, yeah. The one behind the Stone Bank though, when did that one go in?
Stone Bank?
Yes.
Oh, down towards.
Yes.
That was new.
Yeah,
It's new.
It's newer,
Concord.
Bill Williams lived there at the time, he was the manager for 1 year,
Yeah, what was it?
so it goes back at least that far.
For comment.
Something common, yeah,
Yeah, it's worth,
something common, yeah.
I think we built right on.
Cause that was where the flood was.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, when the sprinkler
It's
system
the
broke.
other side of.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Montori, maybe even in Montori or right. When he was here, when that got built.
Tori was before longer,
Yes.
yeah.
Maybe it was built.
Comments.
That's
Yeah,
the Commons in Boston, right? So that had been in study as well then.
it's somebody, but. But
Okay,
yeah,
Val,
maybe 25.
Maybe 25,
Yeah.
so that would
Well,
be,
your school was established from zero till 99, that's all written today, so.
So, wow.
I have no frame of reference, so it was.
I was trying to think, because it was somewhere between, because Williams lived there, so it was built somewhere between Montori and, Longo.
yeah.
Is when it got built.
And I actually lived directly across the street when I first moved back to the Oregon.
Plug in.
There is no plug in there? Yeah, there's plugs.
Richard?
And advice one people being a round table to be one that you can't reach.
Thank you. All right,
So,
we're almost through land use.
I don't have anything for 12.
As far as developing standard, so this one kind of confused me. So develop standards and guidelines for town center and Boston Road corridor to enhance building character, parking configuration, and public realm.
Mhm.
So again, are we looking at public space or are we looking at private development? So my comments were that we did create a streetscape plan, the lamp posts, the sidewalks, things like that. So that is underway. And then it is a historic district, so any building facade work would be under the purview of HDC.
I don't have the, I couldn't find the plan, because that was part of the
I've only heard about it. I haven't
transportation, I couldn't find it. And I did think, I'm like, it's probably with the HDC. I saw that to myself when I was looking at things.
And then there is such a thing as a facade improvement plan, just FYI, that we like to talk about grants a lot. And there's no state grant for it,
For facade.
for facade, but there is a tax reimbursement if we have a program already set up.
Yeah.
Which we were looking at that, again, another expression of interest that just isn't ready yet this year. But if we were to create this program, figure out how to give a tax rate to people for fixing up their own property.
Meaning, paying property taxes versus,
Yeah, basically, if
Okay.
you own a business on Boston Road
Yeah.
and it's kind of run down,
yeah,
we would give you tax credit in order to spruce up your facility.
Yeah.
It would be in whatever design standards we have for it to qualify for that tax relief. We'd have to set up some sort of program, but then we can apply to the state to get that reimbursed back to us.
Yeah.
So that way the town isn't losing the tax relief. Not that we have it yet, but that type of thing exists. And final one in land use, leverage public and private capital investment as well as permitting and site plan review process to beautify Billerica by improving the quality of public realm design and enhancing neighborhood identities.
I thought this was a very odd
Yeah.
phrase. Public realm design.
Yeah.
What the hell would that mean?
So a bus stop out front of McDonald's. If McDonald's is building, then it goes to the site plan review. Hey, do you have a bus stop? Hey, the trail is right behind you. Can you add some sort of connection with the corridor?
Thank you.
Even a bench if it's along the sidewalk. So anything like that where you can put it on your development, but it's for a public function.
Public realm design.
Yep, and sometimes that's on the private property, sometimes that's out in the right of way, in the streetscape area.
Thank you.
Yes.
The things
So
I learned.
planning board does have some streetscape and public design in its review purview. I'm not sure why the check boxes, which I've hidden on the screen, but on the big form, it's marked as short term and not ongoing. So I don't know what they expected us to get done in a short term to just, all right, it's established, let's go.
And it could also be because this is so item oriented and so long that they just brings.
They didn't think that through, and so they just checked the box.
Yes.
Oh, sure, let's get this done.
They didn't say, oh, that's exactly what, it's exactly like it was.
So that was Marathon 13. Tony, do you have anything?
don't really have any sort of possible project. It's a little sidewalks. I think sidewalks.
Public realm design enhancing.
And we're gonna have to start with my stage.
So it could be like Lowell has what they call boroughs. So, and then we have like.
Also, do you wanna stop putting signs entering Pinehurst?
Yeah.
Changes in HEB.
some zip code at one?
Yeah, it still was the post office. The post office still used, but then they changed it.
Okay,
It's,
so I think that might be kind of what they were talking about.
One thing that the big public visioning of a master plan could do, and it depends on how much you invest with a consultant and how much time, it's optional. This version is not doing it, but one thing that could be done with the master plan updating process is neighborhood visioning. And actually going to Rangeway Road is my favorite example, because you have open space, you have multifamily townhouse development, and you have industrial.
And you have high density housing too.
Yeah, this one, yeah. So what is Rangeway Road's identity? And if there's a whole new property that could be anything, what should it be?
Start home district.
Well, anybody could pick any number of things. I'm sure a contractor would say, it should be a contractor's yard. It's right next to all the other industrial uses. But just as many people would say absolutely not because of other reasons. Okay. Sorry.
well, you
Good.
yeah, so
I don't know if you know this, the new chairman of the finance committee.
I heard.
Thank you.
Why stepping?
I heard it. Run. Just said it.
Keep it sealed.
It's a big package.
Yes, good luck. See you
then
Thursday.
you can't. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that type of neighborhood visioning could occur with your next big master plan go round. Funding would be the big thing, because how many sessions is the consultant going to host just for that? So it adds to the workload, so it adds to the cost. So MCOG typically estimates the big master plan update process could be anywhere from 150 to 350,000 to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. Just.
But yeah, so that's how you get the but
I
I.
personally think it would be a good investment. I mean, whether or not we get the public buy-in for that is a different story. Right?
But still, that's absolutely where you buy them.
One thing you gotta stop doing is cutting down the pine trees and replacing them with maples. We have to change from Pinehurst to Maplehurst.
Is that what?
So the pines all over that. So,
Okay, I missed being on the committee.
Yeah, so I don't know, I think that, that would be actually a good marketing strategy that could help even spur some economic development too, and if we had welcome to the Pines, welcome to North Berwick, or welcome to Pinehurst, you know, and kind of highlight what the historic values are of each of those sections of town.
a big claim to fame, Thomas Dixon lives there, right in front of my street.
Can't talk about North Berwick as claim to fame.
I'll do that.
I was being nice about Pinehurst, because it was known as something else when I was growing up. In East Berwick.
It was known as something other than Pinehurst.
What was East Berwick known?
I had no idea it was brand new for me, and. Cause it wasn't Salem Heights, cause I was more off for Justin Time,
Yeah,
so.
I haven't heard Salem Heights in a while. God, I can't remember.
It's like that in the Mike Rank.
We have been here one out and we've gone
Mine's
one out of 5 sections.
Well, there's,
So maybe we can get through transportation since we already have 2 comments to
well, there's 19 of these, so if we wanna, we don't wanna go through all of it, I'm okay with
I
that.
was gonna suggest we power review the transportation section
Yeah.
and then we probably pause at that point.
Okay,
And at this point, this document as it is public and shareable. And again, you guys can do any other homework that we think is next. Just do it individually and we'll compile it.
well, I have to take notes to myself for the things that I couldn't find information on or follow up on, and the things that we were supposed to do that didn't get done, that I'm also gonna follow up on.
And then I'm gonna follow up on doing the ones that are really what I.
So, Kat, we need to assign, we only assign 3, we didn't assign 5.
There's only 3 of them.
So, yeah, right.
So I asked Jane.
So when, wouldn't the school committee need to do the school part?
So when we have a school person, what I'd like to do. And it's really quick, is under the responsible party column. What I'd like to do is anywhere that the school committee is mentioned as a responsible party,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's. Not sure which acronym they use, but they can use that to filter out, hey, what have their schools done? And they were everywhere for spooking. Now I can't see them as an example, so.
That's fine, let's just get on with it.
Or the transportation,
Yeah,
So there's no school committee.
so
I thought there was like a school section.
Gina was
I could
supposed
be
to
wrong.
put the both. of you.
No, I didn't. I did she did it too.
That's what I'm saying, if you end up the both of you do this, okay, which is fine.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, no, that's,
VHS, I think.
It's fine.
No, this is one of those.
No, no. We'll get through it regardless. Alright, so team, I guess we want to T1 whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry, my chair has a weird squeaking thing.
That's really fun. Dennis, want to take over?
I think you have to widen each of the cells, cause I don't know what's underneath there. There's more than just the,
Yeah.
like, so you go over to the side and like, yeah.
Take this particular function.
So go over to the A, column A.
Yeah.
And then on the line between 17 and 18, hover and then double click. There you go, and you just do that on the way down. I think, yeah, I think these ones should be fine. It was just like wherever the whole cell was full. That meant there was more below. Alright, so I guess I wasn't sure what exactly you were looking for notes, so whatever I found for information is what my notes are. So we approved 1.5 million at Springtown meeting for the final easements and design plan. The traffic control agreement.
Yeah, bro, that's
Yeah.
lots of information.
Yeah, and that kind of. So this is where the Yankee Doodle bike path is at. It went out to,
So this is all you need to do with,
yeah,
okay,
uh. It went out to bid, the approval to send it out to bid by Mass DOT was made, I believe, on. July 14th, is that in there somewhere? No, right there, 7/28, yeah, so just last week.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know how if you wanna revise that, or how we should kind of condense that data, or. Maybe generalize it, I'm sorry, and if we wanna just say that it's done, I don't know. It's phase 1 is underway.
So it's out.
Gina, what is the total projected cost that they submit out to
I
bid with?
think it was 27 million, 24 million.
So that's what I'm saying, so that's right, alright. So the estimated.
But that doesn't include the municipalities' responsibility pieces, cause we've been funding 1.5 million for a couple of years. For
No, but that's just the, what's going out to bid right now, the 24/5, basically.
half of it. So if you see, it says FY 25 and then FY 26. And because the cell isn't kind of formatted correctly, so what's out to bid right now would be the FY. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of.
Whitest column in the history of ours.
So when I sent it to you, it didn't look like that.
No, I
Um,
was hoping that between wrap cells and auto sizing column K. it
so
would
if you
be-
go up at the, in between I and K, double hover and then double click, that should maybe,
It'll expand I. to
Oh,
wide
okay,
as it
never
needs
mind.
to.
It's
So
too
it just
far
needs
away.
to
yeah, it's too far.
shrink K.
Just so.
Yeah, there you go.
And then in theory, wrapped text.
Wrap text should take over.
Make it longer, but it
It
doesn't.
doesn't. And then so you have to double click it. No, it's fine. Should be fine right there. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, so. What was the question?
So I was just curious what the total what they're going out to bid with for the total project.
FY 25 right now, so I think that was 19 million or something like that.
Cause I see estimated
So
total
state-
bid construction cost 24.5 basically.
Right, what's out to bid right now is the 13.6 million in federal and the 3.4 in state.
Yes, that's right. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I can't wait to read this. I can't see a damn thing.
So so you're talking.
So there is.
It was about seven.
Math here.
It was about $17 million is going out to bid for FY 25.
Okay.
And then on the municipal side, we approved the 1.5 million, the select board approved the traffic control agreements. We gotta, I can't.
Sorry.
um, The traffic control agreements that define responsibilities of the town regarding the operation, maintenance, and enforcement of traffic control devices and regulations. That was done in June. The revocational assent agreement with Mass Electric was done last month, as well as the final orders of taking for the easements and encroachment licenses needed to complete the project. So I believe everything on the municipal side is complete at this point.
So what is not done? So phase one is out to bid,
Yeah,
phase two.
phase 2 is not done.
Is not out to bid because it's pending the archaeological, whatever.
I'm not sure why, but I know that there's an archaeological component as well.
So how many phases is gonna be done?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so just.
And it did have a completion date, I want to say it was end of 26, beginning of 27.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Satisfied with that?
I'm fine, yeah. So develop a townwide sidewalk inventory, I couldn't find it.
Call tomorrow.
Yeah.
You might find it.
And I don't know if
Well, since it's.
are you gonna send this revised version out with everybody's notes, so that way there we can all see what we have.
This says develop a sidewalk inventory, so we've been running.
I don't think we have one.
That was from 15 years ago.
The only thing
No,
we have,
this is develop ones, we've been running even have one.
no, I couldn't find one, I don't think we have it.
Okay,
What we have is, an overall number of miles of sidewalk,
I think,
Okay.
and then,
in my mind, we have a plan.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna say, we do kind of have a plan, because every time we do a development, we're asking, it's planned, we're asking to do sidewalks.
Yeah.
And then any reconstruction on the roadways, we're asking for sidewalks, there is some semblance of a plan to develop.
so when I hear the word plan, I'm thinking,
Yeah,
here is like a document to follow, and that's when I say I couldn't find the plan, that's what I'm saying I couldn't find.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was thinking there's a map of the town that says, here's our existing sidewalk inventory, and here's where we don't have sidewalks.
No, there's none of that. There is a map that kind of highlights was it 60 miles that we have? We have about 60 miles of sidewalk, but it didn't have like the street names and all that kind of stuff. Well,
And then the maintenance plan, I don't believe we have a maintenance plan for these at all.
the only thing I found for like that was referring to maintenance was de-icing and snow removal on municipal, but it's not really a plan. It was just, hey, the DPW is responsible for doing this kind of thing.
And then, clearly, did Jonathan Wright come before us when we financed many years ago to try to move certain amount of free cash from year to a sidewalks plan?
Yeah, that's in my notes.
Okay.
It's
And
not,
just-
it's not a,
No, it never happened,
Yeah.
but,
Jonathan, right? That used to be on the finance.
no, it was, maybe it was only 1 year.
Yeah, he goes.
That's right, it was. Yeah, but it was, I think it was.
so in the complete street policy that was adopted by the select board in 2017, it does state that we need to have an inventory or maintenance plan. But again, I couldn't find it, so,
Okay.
um,
If we have it, would be buried in DPW.
and some of this was like a recommendation from last NP review. That's a copy and paste from the last master policy review of what we needed to be doing since then until now. And I couldn't find, and I went through all of the documents on, the select board's programming and then all of the documents on the website, and I couldn't find anything needed to these. That,
What's funny is it actually references in this quote that you added, utilize the design standards guidelines developed for the town center. Just talking about it, we don't know where that's written down at
we don't have them.
anywhere.
Yeah. So,
I'm sure DPW and town manager's office have some access.
I was thinking that. Yeah, I was thinking they might have something. It's kind of like we don't have a centralized repository for these things, like everything is ad hoc and spread out, and it makes it harder to keep things manageable.
Focus new sidewalk construction in areas with missing segments and around attractions like schools and resource areas and the commuter rail station.
Similar note, so,
Trail sidewalks were done.
but, so this is,
So where you have the do tile, I'm gonna add Veterans Park there as well.
We just didn't we just do that too?
Yeah, that's what she's saying, yes, it was done.
so school and resource areas, would fall under the Complete Streets federal funding program, but that wasn't applied for this year. Neither was the Safe Routes to School funding that was available. So we need to focus on developing a policy and a plan to ensure that funding opportunities and deadlines aren't missed in order to facilitate meeting this goal, because municipal funding is not enough to be able to complete this for the town.
Was there a safe routes to school?
There was a study done,
Audit or something that
there
was
was a
done?
study done, but
So we know what the goals are, then we have.
Yeah. and we're supposed to be handling some of that in-house because a lot of it is like, line painting and kind of crosswalk painting and stuff that can be handled by DPW. I'm not sure where they are with that, but I did send them that. The pop-up,
Can we have a copy of that document?
I sent it.
We did.
Yeah, so that's the SRTS pop-up plan that I sent to you. And so that's been sent to a number of different department heads multiple times since last year, over the course of the times that we talked about it on the select board. So hopefully we'll be able to start getting that underway at some point.
Number 4. Work to upgrade existing pedestrian facilities to conform to current ADA standards.
So there is a report, I did send that over, it also has pictures and basically the notes here are exactly what is shown. So there's an inventory for ADA facilities. And there was recommendations and observations of various parks based on pictures and areas that need some ADA upgrade compliance.
And then we just pull it up really quick so everyone can see it.
And a typo, time bond. Not on that one, on that. Line 22 or whatever, that, 2 more down, I guess. So I'll fix it later.
Here. Okay, find it. Stop sharing for a second, switch over to the other document.
Nope, yep,
Oh, this is what you were,
no, this is the open space and rec plan.
so were you linking the ADA inventory from the open space plan?
They send the wrong document, maybe.
This is the link you sent. So the open
This
space
is,
plan,
yeah, this is it, yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
the open space plan has an ADA inventory as part of it.
right.
Absolutely. Okay.
Mhm.
I saved the link that you sent me into the
I
folder.
was, I was so surprised that I figured out how to do that. I'm like, oh my God, I was able to share it.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
understanding.
The open space plan is on the open space and rec committee.
I just did a search on the website and it came up, but there's a separate document with just pictures. But I thought it might, and that's a lot less pages, but I thought that the narratives were probably important to keep as well.
Yeah, so during the 2017 open space plan, and we did just update that in 2024.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that,
these were the pictures of Penny and Marissa at the time.
yeah,
This changed just a little bit.
slightly.
But then you can see that each one says, all right, here's the amenities that it has. Is it actually accessible?
Yeah.
What notes do they
Right,
mark in that?
yeah. So, and then the other document was just pictures. It didn't have any of this, which is why I thought this was a better use.
So. And now there's just some random screens that I have up. Okay. I didn't even recognize that. Right. That. So as far as that, I can see. It's from 2017. 2024. I don't know what rough dates are, but that's what we're gonna see. Alright, very sidewalk projects all included updated requirements, research and conditions, it's perfect. One of the things that costs more money with each project, but that helps long-term longevity for sidewalks is just putting in the granite curb.
Yeah,
Cement.
yeah.
I don't know when they decided to start doing that, but I think that's helping sidewalks last longer.
Yeah. So on the next one, it's currently being done by the state for the Boston Road corridor. The question that kept coming into my mind on this one was, do we need to do that on like 129, Route 4, et cetera? Like, are those our responsibility? Maybe Route 4 is not our responsibility, I'm not sure. Or side streets? Or is this just for like main roads?
So it can be anywhere. As far as sharing the road and maybe the complete streets policy has specific guidance on when we should be marking them or not. But yeah, we definitely have it on Boston Road with the state projects going on. I don't think I've ever seen any marking on any side.
No, I was thinking like, what was popping in my mind where I think I
Oh,
go
Valley.
Pollard Street and
God Valley has bike path.
Glad Valley. Well, that's probably because of PHR, maybe.
So when they redid that, when they repaved that road, they put bike markings on it, and Allen Road has bike markings on it too. They don't have a bike lane, but they have bike markings on it. Yeah, when they did the Allen Road project. they put
Oh, the
bike-
southern,
Yeah.
yes,
where bike
not
markings
the
on that.
most recent one, but
Okay.
Right, the one they could, they piled.
sounds like, okay.
Yeah, one was
Yep.
Boston Road.
Yeah, so I was thinking like Pollard, Salem. Obviously, my point of reference is always gonna be North Thorica, because that's where I travel the most. We really don't have much of any kind of stuff like that down there unless it's attached to a new development. And they're not putting markings on the side streets for that, so I wasn't sure if that was something we needed to make a recommendation on or incorporate, or if the Boston Road answer was satisfactory.
No, I think that's great. We've done it for Boston Road, Glad Valley.
Allen Road, possibly, anyway.
So is it possible that it's part of? Highway.
It's been anything, I believe it's been any mass works. That's been doing it.
Mass dot might have this, I tell you, I was driving in Burlington on just the final day that they had it painted.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing, it was completely different from any painting that I've ever seen. And there were people like straddling that and it was comic.
Well, they're not used to it, they're used to it.
It'd be nice if they put up signs or printed
Yeah,
where these are these new things that you should pay attention to, but it was.
So
Okay.
how does this work in addition to what she's already put there? Ellen and Glen Valley have it too. Is there a standard to pick where it gets like messed up in complete streets?
Yeah. Educate the community on bike rules and safety, including safe routes to school and other use of bike facilities. So I have, again, submitted multiple times to multiple different departments, Vision Zero, Safe Streets for All, Safe Routes to School program, and design ideas and educational materials have been provided to the town manager's office, personnel, and various department heads over the course of the last year multiple times. Time bond was retained to conduct an evaluation and present to the select board in 2024. The report and presentation was provided in end of February, beginning of March of this year. However, it doesn't appear to be a priority at this time. And again, I provided those materials to you, so. We have that, we have all of the information available to us, it's just a matter of who and when and which department is going to make it a priority.
On a smaller scale, our police department just did bike safety events where they invite families to come out and helmets and I don't have small kids, I don't know if they actually do, but they did it.
They did it at the 250 thing.
Yeah.
In the back of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for putting the code for the acronyms, because I couldn't remember traffic management, I couldn't figure out what TMC was.
We don't have that anymore, that's just.
I was just going to say, I thought that was my.
oh, really? Well, they-
So that's in the master plan itself, so
So
I
it's-
admittedly tried to
Thank you. This was most helpful.
thank the 2018 authors, because I specifically omitted it when I created this spreadsheet. But yes, if you're looking for the acronym, it is in the master plan in the actual implementation matrix.
So it's officially gone, the committee?
Yeah, it's been gone for years.
Well, I know, but I can remember fairly recently instances where the select board meeting, they talked about sending it to it was probably before your time, but sending it to traffic management, and there seemed to be a great misunderstanding of whether we had it or not, so it's good to know one way or the other. And
It must not have been me, I don't remember that.
no, it was before you, I'm sure.
Um,
Okay.
So explore the potential to develop and adopt a complete streets policy. We did do that. The select board did that in March of 2017. However, it doesn't appear that, while part of the policy is to have an annual review to measure success. And that does not seem to be being done on a consistent basis. The policy also included in my email that I sent to you. And
Gina, the responsible party for review is
select board,
income.
yeah, it's on my list of agenda items that does reviewing this traffic section created for me. Thank you very much. I'm like, oh, we're gonna add this one to it.
Number 8.
Is there a fight?
I don't know, I can't make out what you're saying.
Just like that.
I heard people say, well, it's.
And,
Usually a sign of some is a rebound.
Improve funding signage to the commuter rail station and seek to improve and expand the parking.
so I personally couldn't find anything on this on my review. I'm reading as a 2018 memo from the DPW director regarding line painting and crosswalks that the town was working on. That was the most recent document that I could find, but it was not specific to the commuter rail.
Now, was this the whole lot or just the part that we own?
Probably just the part that we own, yeah. Yeah.
So then would we reach out to the T to do the rest?
Let's get the
Expanding.
let's get the building fixed before we
Yeah.
cross.
When I read it, I thought expanding parking, I've never seen that, even in the height of,
Oh, I have, it gets full.
Is
really,
it now?
Yeah, it gets full every day.
Really? Okay.
now it does?
Yeah.
Well, we must have.
Yeah, it does get full. See notes above, LRT improvement plans generally handled by NN. I'm sorry, I moved on. Are you ready? I apologize.
So working with the LRTA neighboring towns and local businesses to implement a town-wide shuttle service, enhance external connections and extend local services.
And I was actually thinking, I need Mary McBride to kind of comment on that, because I know you have some expertise through NIMCOG for so many years, but LRT improvement plans generally handled by NMPO.
MPO, yeah, LRTA and NIMCOG have had a falling out.
Yes, I couldn't remember. I knew something had happened, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Doesn't mean we can't reach out to them or anything, but
Yeah,
I filled something in.
I couldn't find a plan, but I did find a funding plan schedule that I sent to you. I don't know if it's relevant, if maybe there was any information that could be gleaned from that. So. I don't-
So I don't think anyone is looking, LRTA or NIMCOG is looking for a town-wide shuttle service. That just has not come to fruition.
Yeah,
It's fairly recent that we actually have routes that go all the way to Burlington. And I know it's not yesterday, but it wasn't like that for a long time.
Do you think the current routes were added recently?
I'd say a few years. We had sporadic.
I know the Billerica route was never really exactly reliable. It would run every like 50 minutes, but it always came late and it never stopped at all of the exact bus stops. And I mean, we took the bus as a kid all the time. And you would have to do transfers in order to get from Lowell to Burlington and vice versa, so.
What about the
It's- I
shuttle
think it's-
service on the CO?
That's number 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. I was about to ask you.
Because that,
Yeah, that's.
There was an LRTA version and then there's the ones that are funded by the LRTA, that's the COA. I think they have 3.
okay.
And those are 8 to 3, Monday through Friday. Only by appointment, but they do to be, the reason it's on the next one is that they do, I had to check. They have the ability to keep a wheelchair.
Good.
Or bring a wheelchair on board.
Yeah.
But they don't have any way to, if people need wheelchair services, they have to have someone with them.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, that those drivers have the time to, they can't be responsible for that.
So back up to number 9 for a second, not that there's any progress on updating it, but the last I heard from LRTA, probably a year or so ago at this point, they were looking to go from hourly to half hourly routes.
Yeah.
In the city, not on their suburban routes.
No, it's always been.
But they were looking to at least start doing that and to start offering Sunday service as well
In Billerica?
in the city, not on their suburban routes. So hopefully they are
Yeah,
getting
maybe
some
steps.
traction there and I know
When
that
did they
they,
eliminate the Sunday? I mean, when I was a kid, it ran every single day.
Did they have LRTA or was it a different agency?
I think it's always
Yeah,
been.
I don't remember being anything else.
Yeah, always been a lot here, for sure. Yeah,
one recent news, if you're familiar with the Middlesex Free Coalition and their shuttle service, they did just open their service up to the public.
okay.
So I'm not sure what they're.
Yeah, but then
Exactly.
What do you think? Because there's a shuttle, where did they see it? Oh, Lexington. They were running a bus route out of some office.
So maybe that was,
Lexington.
maybe that's a note that we
They,
had.
they do, when they did it, regular people would have to pay for it as opposed to the people, so I don't know how they're handling tickets and things like
I mean, I think maybe who's right, well, not technically not right now because they eliminated the fees, right? As like, still expire.
Yeah.
Or did that expire out there?
No, it's still going. I
Still
think
going.
it's through September to December.
Okay. So, but generally you have to pay to ride the bus anyway, so,
It's the access, not the price.
yeah.
Although I have heard there's a lack of access to refilling your Charlie card in town. So if we had a kiosk at the station or at the COA, that would-
Yeah, park where the bus lives. So that-
Or the mall.
exactly.
Fine.
We have some really urgent kiosks.
Middlesex 3 bus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The other thing I didn't note when I was thinking about this. So we don't have any taxi services, and I know like nowadays a lot of people just use Uber, but.
Every
A lot
time
of
someone-
older people that are, that aren't driving, don't really know how to use Uber.
And it is more.
Why don't we have a taxi?
Every time someone tries a taxi service in town, it always fails. But it's always been the low taxi cab service. Well, I know, I'm just saying, that's all I ever remember as a kid.
Yeah.
And then when it was.
Well, Rebecca had one for a while.
We did.
I never, that there was this one guy that always drove.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember, Sandy Libby.
And then someone else tried doing one, and it's just a small one, just read right before.
Libby's had.
Okay, was it Larry?
It was Sandy, I think. I remember getting up in a meeting years ago. In fact, so long ago, I think she was pregnant at the time. By talking about how I'm not just his wife, I run the business and all this about the taxi. So,
Yeah. And then someone else tried doing it, but it just,
Yeah,
I think Uber and Lyft just killed it.
makes out,
Yeah,
it's
it's just
something
not
we
a
could.
business. Just-
All right,
For number 10, work with LRTA at support facilities like benches, shelters, and parking at existing LRTA bus stops. So a couple of board and committee updates. The planning board is already done.
okay, good.
PV bus stop at 275 Boston. That's basically upgrading what was currently / previously.
And you guys worked with LRTA to do that?
Yes.
Oh, all right, great.
In fact, the planning board condition reads LRTA approval for an actual bus shelter in front. And the idea is, where it's 2 lanes and then you get through the intersection and then it merges. Hopefully that moving that bus stop is going to kind of deter it. Before you go through the intersection, that right lane is for buses and it's for right turn onlys. People are still gonna go around,
Good luck with
sure,
it.
but, so the.
They was one of those that over for my complex, it never got installed.
And then in progress, the open space
Maybe
committee.
a shelter over at Greg's and took it down.
yeah, there was something there, yeah. I must say that with the LRTA and the different communities, the only man that the people anywhere know is Andrew James.
Yeah.
Cause he's so good and follows through, he talks to everybody. So points in our.
Very knowledgeable.
Nice, he was the one that identified the Aitson Park stop.
Yeah.
With some love and some improvements,
Yeah.
open space, he brought that to the open space committee and they're, yeah,
Good.
so.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable, very, a resident expert in the town.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right, number 11, Mary, you already answered that.
yeah, we'll use Mary's notes for that one.
Sorry it's so long, but I figured I'd put the time in.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, number 12, educate residents on available public transit services, post schedules in public places, including public school, town hall, and the library.
I have never seen it, and I couldn't find anything online. But Mary says.
I've been informed that there are schedules there. At those 3 places. So
Town hall, have you ever seen it at town hall?
I've never looked for it, so seriously.
I believe you, I'm just saying, I've never seen it either.
I have the flyer that the fares are free right now on my bulletin board, but
I have it on my.
You know, it might be
Yeah,
on the park
yeah,
side.
on my Facebook too.
I think I may have seen it on the park side.
Okay. All right, I'll take you for your word.
Just double check, I mean, walk in there, and I think it's the bulletin board, as soon as you walk in on the right hand side, I think there was something there on Tuesday.
those
Yeah.
would be great places for the Charlie card kiosk to be at.
Yeah, maybe. Mhm.
I mean, I think it's on the park offices, have it outside, oh, not in it, but outside, of it,
Yeah,
in the
Yeah.
lobby area, that way anyone can get at it.
at any time.
Yeah,
Does it have to be, is it like, it has to be indoors?
I'll tell you.
Cause what about like on nights and weekends, if somebody's, so
yeah, but this town is usually open most nights.
maybe in the police
And
department.
access is better than.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, it's smart.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Safety improvement plan for the town center is done. It's in with the town manager's office. Uh,
Is that the one that Lance was working on, and was there?
yeah,
Okay.
that we were gonna move forward on, and then, but the final design is pending additional funding because of federal cuts to the budget.
So this is all along Route 3A. So we've got the Cook Street, we've got the North Billbrook, and we've got the Black Valley that we can also check off.
So did I put that in the wrong box?
What is HSIP? I couldn't find that.
Oh, then what about, the new project at, Lexington? They're gonna be starting, yeah,
So that is in one of the, I think that's the next one,
okay.
the Mass HSIP.
Highway Safety Improvement Program. Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Advanced design on existing projects. Especially those aimed at reducing traffic congestion. Well, anything that's
Yeah.
reduces congestion.
So if you wanna just do the town center safety plan is with the town manager's office and then list out the other areas of the three that are being worked on. I thought that was in there somewhere.
Well, it's fine, 13 deals in the Senate, that's fine, the next one is 14, it'll deal with all the other major,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead.
good.
No uniformity in this project means.
That's fine. I couldn't find anything specific locations here, like 3A Wyman Road, Pond Street, Salem Road. I think there's more to that box, yeah. Concord Road, Andover, blah, blah, blah. But this is the Mass DOT's, specific, like, all, if you go into that. This link will bring you to, Mass DOT eligibility criteria and contact person to work on those if there aren't any projects already in the queue.
Was Pond Street in Salem done
I don't
It was done once before,
within the last decade?
yeah,
Okay,
that intersection was done.
that's what I was thinking.
And Wyman Road and Boston Road was done, but I don't think it was the last decade, but that's relatively, they redid that with all the lights and kind of configured the intersection
Yeah,
at that point. I don't feel
Three-
happy with it, but it's been done.
3A and Concord Road and Andover Road.
The road was in on Salem Road, it's
Salem Road.
that's,
Kinda,
well, the stop
yeah,
signs,
the stop signs, but that's not really.
and they're reducing the speed and not general.
Well, that was the other thing too, we had talked about earlier on this year. Was a part of the Safe Streets for All program. Through NIMCOG, there is like a flat. Speed limit of 25 townwide, and all of basically all of the surrounding towns have already adopted it. And so I'm not really sure like what we need to do to be able to do that. Obviously, it wouldn't apply to Boston Road, but like side streets and.
Yeah, no, it's safe. I wanna say
What's
that
that
road.
where it's posted?
Yeah.
It's all this 25.
25, yeah. Yeah, so that's something we might be able to look at some point. Improve wayfinding and signage throughout the town.
So let me ask you this question on that. Is that going away because of technology? Would people using GPS?
Wayfinding?
Yeah, wayfinding signs.
Yeah, so I take wayfinding to mean like the line striping and maybe some signage. That sort of thing, but yeah, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand, but you still need it.
If it tells me to turn right on Lexington.
No, I get it,
Which one is Lexington?
but I thought it was more like, hey,
I need the signage and.
I'm
lane
thinking,
striping.
okay, I'm in Pinehurst, do I need a sign that's coming in Pinehurst where the clumping and where the canal museum is? That's what I'm more thinking wayfinding is. Or would people pay attention to that and just use the GPS?
I think they would pay attention to the GPS with that kind of stuff, but for me, it was more like, traffic control measures and,
Okay.
Yeah.
no left turn here, right on red.
Knowing in advance which lane is turn only.
Right.
Okay, so that's what it is about it. Okay, I didn't the city.
So it means both.
Okay.
Absolutely, it means both. This is in the transportation section. Whereas if we're looking at the natural
So-
and historic resources and it talks about wayfinding, we do want to see a sign in Pinehurst or on the highway that says, we have Middlesex Canal Museum, because people need to know that it exists.
Right.
Otherwise, they're
Okay.
not going to be encouraged to go there.
Okay,
So it does mean both things.
okay.
So basically it's in the notes above. And, the only thing I could find on like improvements to traffic control features was the 2018 memo that they were painting certain lines in certain places, but there really isn't an overall plan that I could find.
Are the street name signs being updated?
Those I've been noticing that,
On the seal.
on the seal, but I didn't find a plan, like I didn't see. And maybe that's like an internal thing through the DPW and it's not on the website. But some of the surrounding towns have like comprehensive lists of, here's our paving schedule plan, and it lists out all the streets. What month it's gonna be happening, and then here's our this plan, and same exact thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we need to do this on our website.
I don't know if they can schedule it down to the month, but their paving plan is on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they were to apply for a grant, for example, to just get new street name signs,
Yeah.
they could say it's in line with their master plan, item T15.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Same thing with the, if they were to apply for the SS4A, the Safe Routes to School and the Vision Zero plan. They can reference that, yeah.
And then as this committee moves forward, just since we're on a tangent now anyway, part of the annual report to the town meeting is, hey, here's the things that are getting done this year in line with this. So even if DPW isn't really looking at this document, they're just doing what they think is best.
Yeah.
And this committee kind of going behind the scenes like, hey, good job, this is what the town wants to see, let's check the boxes here.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if they wanted to do what the master plan thinks is best and people agree. It would be fun.
And it's a good question as well. It says,
If nothing else is entertaining.
if there's not a grant, should we spend $50,000 on wayfinding? Yes.
Yes,
T15.
absolutely.
Or if it's, should we spend 15,000, whatever number I just said, on something else that we can't find here? That sounds nice too, but this has been vetted through a thorough townwide process.
Right.
10 years ago. So it, in theory, carries more weight. That's why at 10, 15 years, it gets a little stale. Can you really still say that?
Right. And a lot of it, I mean, comparatively speaking, a lot of it has been done. Has been done exactly how it should have been, maybe not, but a lot of it has been done and a lot of upgrades have been made. But there's still a lot of work to get done, so.
But there were also a lot of things that were important to the people doing this a long time ago.
Right.
That have lost their importance because of changes and
Right.
et cetera.
Yeah.
So it is,
Which speaks to that stableness again.
yeah, exactly right. It should be a living, breathing document.
Yes,
It's so tediously
I know.
done. Maybe we need to.
Do this annually instead of once.
No,
a year.
well, not.
No, but like I
So that's kind of, I think this body is supposed to be doing, that, right?
Exactly. Well, exactly.
And that's what we've kind of fallen by the wayside, so I'm trying to bring it back again.
Right, but I think we also talked about that and touched on it when earlier on tonight, when I was asking about like. There's a lot of redundancy in this document, so maybe the recommendation is just streamline it. And we clean it up and eliminate anything that's been completed off of there. And kind of, merge anything that's overlapping, and then maybe it becomes a clear version at the end of this process.
And we can only make that recommendation, therefore,
If you want to completely draft it to give the planning board kind of something tangible and concrete, they're not going to say no.
but
They might mess with it further.
Yeah,
So do you want to give them big picture, hey, please do this type of thing, do that type of thing? Do you wanna give them goals or do you wanna give them action items?
Personally, I just want to do it, and give it to them, because otherwise it might not get done.
And as we see with all of these line items.
Not that
it's a lot of.
Not that I'm saying that the planning board doesn't do what they're supposed to, but I'm just.
But there's a million things to do, so
Right.
the easier it is to finish things.
Yeah.
The easier it
You
is.
want to start starting more?
And I don't think that.
You know, I go to war, okay? I got this wars going on.
If the planning board was mad at us for suggesting it, then we'll go and slap them. I mean, that's.
Mary's
I was starting to check this.
Mary's taking over.
All right, we are almost there and the second hour is almost done.
Oh, yeah, I thought we were only gonna be here for half an hour.
Right.
So
What
we're on
number?
16.
16.
Scenic routes and regulations were adopted in March of 2012. I sent those over into the attachments. Maybe it needs to be looked at for updates, because it's.
Who develops that regulation?
Scenic roads is under the planning board.
Okay. So we.
But yeah, you have rules and regulations for scenic roads also, so when you start bundling them all together, don't forget about that.
Yeah. And then the next two, I couldn't
talking?
find anything on.
Develop gateways at town entrance points and land use transition points. Look to involve community volunteer groups to assist in maintenance such as garden clubs.
I could not find anything on this.
We have some that do that already.
I mean, we have a garden.
No, but there's some, they do maintain some of the squares and, you know,
But developing gateways at the town entrance points.
So the idea here, if you come in on 129 from Route 3, you've got the Brick Hill Plaza, you've got John Ryan's, you've got the forest. That's kind of what sets the stage for you're now in Billerica.
Yeah.
And then when you get to Boston Road, you have Harley and Max 2 and the empty gas station.
no, we don't next to anymore.
Yes.
Big
We have a fire station.
You got a big hole in the ground.
You ever put a sign
So
that
we're
says empty?
developing our gateway. When you come all the way down Boston Road from,
Wondering if, right?
again, that Treble Cove and 129 and Boston Road intersection there, that's kind of one of the gateways into the town. Pinehurst is a gateway into the town. The other side of 129, any of the highway exits, that's where people are entering the town from. That's where we're setting our first impression. So this is talking about land use, transportation.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was about. I was like, I don't know what the heck this is going on here. Maybe it's not supposed to be here. Maybe that's supposed to be under the land use portion of that. Cause it's like a.
Or
That's what they call it. I mean, what's
so
we have a big sign that says, well.
I think maybe because it's as people are driving in.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's.
So since it looks involved community volunteer groups to assist in maintenance such as garden clubs. So they're talking about trying to, you know, like dress up the squares, dress up the town line area,
Like,
you know, beautify it.
like beautify the background.
Yeah, things like that, or, you know,
Brush from the wall type
there's
of.
also signage about, you know, how we were the
Yeah, I don't think
sports
that's.
town,
That
know,
falls
purple
into
house.
transportation.
but it's on the road.
Really because
It's
it's
on the
on
road.
the driver's seat.
Okay, and then the county,
Yeah, so I couldn't find anything on it. Maybe it's something that we need to develop.
I've been asked by nonprofits if we have any sort of adopt a green space program. Which I wasn't able to point them to, so they were coordinating with the town manager's office to figure something out, basically. But there's nothing in writing.
so there's a lady, I don't know if you're familiar with that, from 62, kind of where Page Road is.
Yeah, you know.
There's an island there, and there's a woman there once a week, just, and the town is providing water, right? They put out a head and she brings her hose and she'll do some cleaning up of like, so I don't know if she's part of the garden club or what, but she's over there. And then there's another spot closer to Old Billerica Road intersection on 62, right near there. They kind of clean. I see her all the time, they clean it up. So I'm guessing that's probably more what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Then, see, we also have a.
We have a beautification committee, right?
Because
I don't know that are they active?
They're not very because they don't spend a whole budget. Which is a, a miss because the money's allocated there.
I know, Garden Club
Beautifies
beautifies
the record, but there are enough people on that committee to do it though?
There are so many.
A lot of what has happened really is the garden club used to be huge and full of people, but they're all older now. They just don't do as much. And maybe they need younger blood if they could get it.
And I don't know if it's the Garden Club or the Beautification Committee, but one or both of them take care of the center.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think it's the beautification committee, because it's the sister twins, right?
Who are also part of.
yes.
Yes, yeah. And me, I cannot think of their names. I know their names, it's just not coming to my brain and now.
Nikki and Richard.
Yes, thank you.
Cindy.
Cindy and, never mind. I have to be.
Cindy followed
Yes, video.
And
They both married Richards.
yeah, but they didn't, as far as I know, they didn't both marry Richard Dawes, What's
Nick.
Canadian, very good, Elaine,
And then there's,
thank you.
Thank you.
But
sh-
Beautification Committee, and if anyone is.
wasn't it
Recording, there's
see that, there you go, out of the center where Concord Road comes into the center, put that rock wall there, and clean that up.
I don't know. Do we still have an adopt an island program, or is that like gone away? 'Cause
That's
that
what
could
I
be a-
couldn't find, but I sent someone to town managers of DPW to figure out, so again,
Cause I know we did have that for a while, but I know.
they try to get rid of that also though, because some of the traffic flow around those islands isn't exactly the best.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well,
if it exists on paper, it could easily be switched over to adopted green space, it doesn't have to be an
There you go.
island.
right,
Creative, I like it.
I like it.
Actually, I think it's.
Can we put that in the notes?
Yes. I think that's where I saw it before.
Okay, I can check that. Yeah,
We're almost there. I think it's unspoken, but are we planning to call it after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get to 19 and we'll,
identify it.
items on the agenda.
identify and advance strategic streetscape projects while promoting context sensitive design. I could not find anything on that either. I don't know.
The streetscape thing we have is that town center one that we knew
Right,
got done and exists somewhere that we're gonna try to track down, but
okay.
I know different than for this one as well.
And then I personally didn't have time to review bylaws to develop notes for you guys, so I'm sorry, I couldn't.
So,
I was just like, oh my god, this is
You know,
probably
No action has been taken since 2015.
no action, okay, but.
On the sign bylaws, I'm confident in
So-
being able to see it.
we have, well, I find kind of interesting here, on 15, yeah, improve wood finding signage throughout town. And then 19 says in an effort to reduce sign clutter.
Yeah,
I kind of find that contradictory.
No, you need to have less clutter and more concise clarity.
Right. That's fine, but
I mean, there's probably visibility too, yeah.
but they've been adding more signs.
So part of clutter is the private signage, not the roadway signage. So if you have, think of Las Vegas, for example, you just have signs everywhere. Everyone wants to be taller than the
Oh,
next one. So you use.
yeah.
So that became part of our bylaws, because when people back in the 70s were afraid that Boston roads were gonna become Route 1. And so we,
What's wrong with that?
well,
Sonic.
as a calculus, that's what I said. So I have no problem with
I
that.
just want Sonic.
You had one in Wilmington and it failed. But anyway, so that is, and that's why we have all these short signs. You know, with the, like McDonald's, for example, I suppose some big old notches.
So that-
Yeah, yeah. So that's been ongoing. I mean,
That makes sense.
Time.
Now, now that you said that, I'm thinking about it when we installed the signs. When I was on the HOA for my complex. We installed signs and we had to go through the whole process.
So here's an example of how they. Town hall has a monument sign. No one can find this building. It says town hall in one section, but what you see is that it's a school.
No, every time I bring my granddaughters, doesn't matter which one, we'll be walking in, they'll be like, why are we going to the high school, Grammy? I'm like, this is not a high school, but why does it say that? I'm like, I don't know.
It was a high school.
They're like, why, it was like,
I didn't say DoorDash does not get it, but I've seen plenty of DoorDashes for the high school.
yeah,
This was a high school.
So wayfinding is lacking.
So
We just have this weird little monument.
Once we, I forget the reason I was here selling things, but it might have been even an election or something, I forget. And all these girls kept coming in, little girls, and the directions had accidentally been given out to get to the high school by way of town hall, and they all saw the sign that said high school, so they all came into town hall. Instead of going down the actual base out. Oh, that was a funny day. A dance competition, that's what it was.
Oh, wow. Okay, Cat, you ready? Whenever. Okay, so we got through the first two sections of the invoice, so that's good. So item 7 is the action items for next meeting, so I guess the first thing would be after minutes and that sort of thing, would be going on to public facilities.
Which I will do right this time. I know some of the comments because I put them in the wrong place. Sorry.
That's not a worry. They didn't get to it so far. Did, no harm, no foul.
How about this one? We've already answered it. Develop a master plan and feasibility study to create a consolidated DPW facility.
And so
maybe,
as far as the implementation matrix, because that was gonna go in your next meeting. That's gonna be, for now, we want to start, wait for the members to start on the others. Or do we want us to go on the next?
So I've closed out the draft already, but my department did look at natural and historic resources. So we've got a few comments there to get you guys going as well. So that was in the draft as we were scrolling through, so we'll make that one public and I'll share it out to you guys. I think you guys probably need your own webpage where we're throwing these documents at too, the different links and supporting documents as well. So we'll get all of that uploaded, do your own private homework on whatever sections you think are next.
Okay,
But certainly if you're,
Building high school.
done.
if you've got time and energy to look at natural resources or historic resources, go for it. I tasked Jane with filling some of that in as well already, so.
Okay,
it'll be
so I guess I'll have to talk to you about developing.
Longer
it.
10-year memory.
Well, we'll just use this table matrix and then we'll just fill in whatever we can. Okay, so the should do hers, we'll do the natural, and what, so who's doing natural and cultural resources?
you.
All right,
If I have time, I can,
well, we can decide.
Yeah.
Right, all right, open space natural recreation plan, can have some insight. So, did we get
So-
them or not?
I did not get any volunteers or any comments from them directly, so staff is just trying to piece together what we can, because we've also staffed that committee, we have some access to some of those knowledge points of what's been done.
Okay,
So that's why I had Jane fill out what she had on the sections.
okay. All right, so that's enough for now, for action items, and you have anything else on that?
So I will create a website, send out the updated spreadsheet to you guys. Mary is doing public facilities. Between you two, look at natural resources and historic. Do you wanna divvy it up or both of you look at both?
is it all under one category?
Yes.
No, they're split into,
Two categories.
the plan has them combined and then the implementation matrix. has them
So-
separate.
It's natural and then historic,
Yes.
you wanna take historic?
Oh, sure.
And are we still gonna meet on August 20?
Well, that's, we're gonna get to next. Yep. So I know we kind of threw this up in the air last time, and you, I think it was you that wasn't sure if you could make it or not.
We can go ahead and schedule it. It's, there's so many birthdays in summer, I apologize. I mean, I don't apologize.
No,
but
no, the thing is-
I'm as flexible to be.
But if you can't make it right now, we wouldn't have a meeting, so that's why.
Yeah, so as of right now,
Thank you, then you need to know.
then I don't know what my daughter-in-law is gonna do with scheduling of certain things, so I will let you know in advance.
Okay,
But as
So-
of now, I will.
So we'll leave it on.
we'll leave it on, so then I don't know how people feel about September, but we scheduled a bunch of planning board meetings. I think
September's super busy.
Right, I know you're gonna be busy with finance committee, and I'm just not sure if we should hold off until after town meeting in October.
Probably.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
For August 26th, I know.
Jane, go?
I'm sure that someone in my office is available.
What do you mean someone?
Jane or Liz.
Okay,
There is, again, starting a meeting on these things, you just have to click record. The hybrid is the only function, so I showed you how to see the panelists, so that way if anyone were to be online,
Hopefully you go and they're fun.
me, not Washington. As the only part of the bumper sticker, that the car had time out of Washington, I didn't know who were. I don't know.
Would it, I mean, are you going on vacation? To be, or just away for a day or what?
I definitely can't do the 21st, so.
Huh?
I
no,
definitely.
no, well, we gotta keep August 26th.
We
Do
can
that, if you guys send it to.
You know, she can't make it.
Yes. Where's it going to school?
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Nice, congratulations.
But again, you just click the button to start it. I would just recommend that you guys have the hard copies in front of you instead of trying to put a screen on.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Okay. Alright, and if for some reason Jane can't make it, let me know as well, because if we have to reschedule this, then, because we need one or the other, or Liz. Alright, so now I'm going to assume town meeting meets on the 6th of I'm sorry, 7th of October. So we're gonna do 7, 9. You think we're doing 3 nights?
Are you predicting?
Yes, I'm projecting, I'm guessing 3 nights,
You
right?
pick a September date?
We're skipping September.
Oh, okay.
Cause only because planning board schedules,
Every Monday is planning board, every Tuesday and Thursday is finance committee.
right, so then you
Everyone's-
guys are gonna meet, and so it just,
September's the what?
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, okay, so now October 7th is the first night of town meeting, so you get 7, 9. I'm guessing we're going at least the 14th, so at least 3 nights, I'm guessing.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about things that are coming.
So, right, because I think we're gonna have, and then, as of right now, I have a plan on the 16th, we currently have a planning subcommittee meeting scheduled, but that could be tentative with town meeting. As well, so I'm thinking. The week of, that's probably the earliest should be the week of the 20th. I know, so that's Monday, the 20th.
So of
I don't know if
October,
yeah,
so it.
that's Monday, I'm not saying we can do it on Monday, but I'm saying that.
So the only thing with that is like, we're coming right off the heels of, town meeting.
Yeah.
I need to transition directly into like substance use prevention awareness month, and so we do our abuse awareness vigil, and I am already gonna be overextended for my commitments there, and so I kind of like. I would probably have availability until the 4th week of October.
So you will or you won't?
Well, yeah, the 4th week would be the
So
closest.
you're talking 28th.
Yeah, so we usually
The
do,
last week of October, say.
yeah, so we usually do the vigil the 3rd weekend of the month.
Third week is the 18th,
Yeah,
so 18, 19,
my phone died, so I can't access my Google calendar.
alright,
Yeah, it's generally held on the 20th, that's why when you said the 20th,
well, I was just saying that,
yeah. So long as it's not like matched up against stuff that I have.
so you just wanted the last week,
Yeah.
then kind of, so like,
Maybe like the 22nd, 23rd.
oh, so that week, but still,
That's the third.
That's the, yeah, that's the weekend, that's the
Oh, that's still the
weekend.
third week?
Yeah,
Okay.
Monday's the 20th, so that's what I was saying.
My fault.
That would be-
October. Yeah, okay, so Monday's the 20th. And that would likely be a select board meeting, so.
But I wasn't thinking Monday and
Yeah, so probably the 23rd,
that Thursday.
yeah, does that work?
The one was open as well.
Yeah,
Again?
Monday, the 23rd.
Yes, fine.
And then since that is 2 months between meetings. I think probably in September, in early September, is when we'll have the other members appointed, at least by school committee, if not moderator.
Well, I'm hoping this is
Yeah, we said it, the lottery was appointing someone already, so.
If nothing's come through yet, so.
I'm hoping on the 26th,
Okay, great.
right? We would have,
What, so if
At
the
least a
school
full
committee isn't appointing anyone until their actual meeting,
which is,
September. So they have a retreat in August, but their first real meeting is September. So maybe there's a
Staff
30-minute Zoom only check-in that this committee can find time to do if and when we're fully appointed.
Yeah.
And that way it's just making sure that homework and all of that is going on, so that when you guys do meet again in October, it's nothing.
Or you could call the school committee and say, just, could you, just, we can.
And they have to vote.
Right, that's where I called, Fred, I'll call John Kay.
They have to vote on it, they don't?
No, committees have to have, if it's specific in the guideline or the rule when the committee was established, yes.
Oh, okay,
Like for the town manager screening committee, that's very specific.
okay.
but you gotta be careful because if the chairman makes the appointment versus being voted on, then another chairman could pull that person off. the
Where is
committee.
that? Is that in the charter of how this committee gets appointed?
This committee just says appointees from.
Yeah.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say how, that's up to the individual committees to
And
do.
then sometimes it's a chair's authority, but they might not want to do it outside of a public meeting, so that way. the
Right.
is-
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna call them, get the,
At least get the dates of the retreat and the September meeting, that way we know what to expect.
yes, ma'am.
you good?
Alright, so. At the. Next meeting will be October 23rd, however, pay attention to emails in case there is a check-in meeting sometime in September, we can get 2 more appointments.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Sounds like
Okay.
a plan.
Okay.
Motion
Everyone
to
good with
adjourn.
that? Everyone good with that? Before you-
Sorry.
Sounds good. Alright, good.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
And